Hello everybody and welcome to Notorious Yugioh. I'm Notorious Cly and it feels good to say that again. I just got back from vacation and I am eager to make some more content. I hope you all enjoyed the new and different stuff I tried over my little sabbatical, my little hiatus. But back to the grind now, back to the stuff that you all know and love. We're going to be going over some replays today and I'm going to break them down and just kind of talk about them, give you my thoughts, and then maybe some big thoughts about Duel Links as a whole. And you can see the deck list right above me. Made a few changes from the 30 card deck profile that I did. You can see I cut down to 28 cards, maybe swapped out some cards, but that's for another video. Nothing too drastic changed, and I'm sure I'll end up explaining all my rationale for changing everything in a later episode as well. Today let's just focus on the replays, and let's not waste any more time. Let's just jump right into one. Okay, first up is a mirror match. And I really wanted to showcase this one for a couple reasons, and you'll see why when we do it. Okay, so opening hand, one copy of Red Rain, Synchron, Wild Wind, and Book of Moon. Fantastic opener. Always feels kind of nice opening the Red Rain when you're going first because you can set it and hide it and your opponent can't automatically snipe it with the back row removal that they have. Especially when you have something like a Book of Moon to set with it. So, you know, your opponent's going to do a 50-50 toss-up on whether or not they hit it. Also, another reason why I like running 2 Red Rain is because when you open one, you go first, and then you get to set one with skill, it feels absolutely broken. Because even if they get to snipe the known Red Rain, you still have the unknown Red Rain that they can't really expect to play around. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and activate Roaring Soul, because that's what we do. And we're going to send Synchron here, mostly because I wanted to keep the Wild Wind, just because Wild Wind would give me the ability to extend into a bigger synchro play if I wanted to. Since I already opened the Red Rain, I don't need to go for the 1 card combo to get into the level 7, then Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend to set Red Rain from deck. I already opened the 1 copy that I was playing at this time. So we're going to hold Wild Wind just in case I want to extend, and we're going to send Synchron and then dump Crimson. And we're going to go ahead and add the Red Sprinter off the skill, normal Red Sprinter, and we're going to bring back the Crimson. And it's at this point that I noticed that my opponent has something. And I'm not quite sure what it is, but I saw the little activation window for them. And I figured, okay, we need to do something here. There's only 2 possibilities, 3 possibilities really, of something that they could have that would be activatable on my turn 1 in this scenario. It would be DD Crow, my biggest nightmare, my ultimate fear. Artifact Lancia, which doesn't matter at all, and something like a Thunder Dragon Dark if they're just using Jack Atlas as a smokescreen. So we summon Wild Wind here so I can put Wild Wind in Graveyard, hopefully use the Book of Moon on my opponent's turn to stop them from being able to play, and then Wild Wind's in Graveyard so Wild Wind can banish itself, get a Resonator, and then I have Resonator plus level 4 non-tuner and Red Sprinter, which I was able to protect with Book of Moon, and now I can, you know, combo off and hopefully take control of the duel. Let's continue. So we're going to Synchro, put the Wild Wind in Grave, like I mentioned, Red Rising, Crimson, and there's the DD Crow. They shut down the turn. And we're going to set 2 just to hide the Book of Moon. And so hopefully if we do survive, Red Rain will be activatable on the crackback and allow us to win. So they're going to Cosmic, great. They hit the Red Rain with the Cosmic. Alright, they're going to go Roaring Soul, they're going to go ahead and what did they dump? They dumped the Wild Wind, dumped the Crimson from deck. And then we're going to go ahead and flip down their Crimson Resonator with our Book of Moon, and they're going to trade Red Sprinters. Okay, fine, no big deal. We still have the Red Rising Dragon and the Wild Wind in Grave. We can use Wild Wind to get another Crimson, and then go Crimson effect, you know, pop off, and we can do our thing. And Wild Wind effect, and met with a Skullmeister. Alright, what do we set? Book of Moon. Alright, let's see if they can get us one more turn. So they're going to use their own Wild Wind, get a Red Resonator. They're going to go Red effect. Special Wild Wind. We're going to go ahead and flip down their Red Resonator, and they're going to go ahead and set 1. And unfortunately, we're kind of out of ways to steal this one to get out of here. Cow Pulse isn't bad. We're going to set that. Use Red Rising to try and clear the Resonator. I don't want to give them Wild Wind. I want to make sure they're required to top deck a Resonator. I don't want to give them free searches from deck. And they hit us with Crackdown. Alright, let's see what we can do. So they're going to go ahead and synchro off Red Rising Dragon, and they're going to go ahead and bring back Crimson, and they're going to synchro off our Red Rising. They're going to go Scarlet, and we're going to flip the Compulse to try and get out of this one. And yeah, they're going to Lance, you know, protecting the Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, and we are not going to get a top deck. We are not going to get the Living Miracle of hopefully top decking nothing at this point. No single top deck would get us out of this one, unfortunately. Sometimes it'd be like that. Sometimes your opponent opens DD Crow, Skullmeister combo, and then top decks into a Crackdown. So hats off to my opponent. Well played. Fantastic. And one of the reasons why I wanted to show this to all of you is, you know, all right, Orcust is now a thing. Graveyard Hate is becoming more common in this meta. How do you play around it? And you can occasionally play around it, or at least set yourself to be able to survive the game-stopping Graveyard Hate that's going to be in the game. Unless your opponent opens 2 of them, in which case you're just boned. So another reason why I wanted to show this replay is because this was one of the most fun duels I have played in a very long time. I was constantly being asked to make interesting decisions and impactful choices, and that is not something that happens very often. Unfortunately, Duel Links has moved to this stage where it's all or nothing from the get-go. It has officially gone into the modern era of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where everything needs to happen right now, immediately, or you have no hope, no chance. Unless you can, you know, open the perfect combination of 5 cards in conjunction with your opponent's perfect conjunction of 5 cards to have an entertaining back and forth, interesting, thought-provoking duel like the one I just had. And that saddens me a lot because I love Duel Links, love the format, love 20 cards, love skills, love the restricted card pool, love everything about it. Except I find myself falling more out of love with the way this game has gone. It has followed modern Yu-Gi-Oh! For better and for worse. And that's something that saddens me a little bit because Duel Links had a unique chance and a unique ability to not relive all of the past mistakes of current modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Where everything needed to be all or nothing right from the rip, and there was no thoughtful interplay over the course of an entire duel. Thoughtful interplay happens over the course of 2 to 3 turns, and that's it. And I don't know, this is kind of ranty and rambly, so I'm just going to end it there. Yeah, saddens me to see that Duel Links is there. Probably has been for a while, but I've been insulated from it because I've only ever played a plucky road deck and Resonators, if you could even call it a road deck, before it, you know, got the new support. I was probably insulated from it, so most of my duels naturally required a lot more thought and a lot more effort and a lot more interplay with my opponent. But yeah, maybe Duel Links has been there for a while, and I just never noticed it. I was just always blind to it. But it saddens me to see that because it didn't have to be this way, and it doesn't have to be this way. Konami could always course correct and bring us back to the type of interactivity and interesting thoughtfulness that seemed to exist, you know, in previous iterations of Duel Links. Maybe I'm just blind. I don't know. Maybe I'm just blind with nostalgia. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Let me know how you feel about Duel Links. Let me know if you're enjoying it. I'm still enjoying it. Still love the game. Still love the format. But I'm just a little disappointed that it's kind of following the footsteps of the TCG almost to a T instead of trying to deviate and become its own thing. All right, rant over, ramble over. Thanks for bearing with me, everybody. Next replay. Let's go. Okay, we have Quentin, and this is kind of cool. Quentin just became unlocked. I didn't unlock him. I did not unlock him at all. I had no ambition to play, to grind Duel Links, which is another rant and ramble I'll save for another video, so this one doesn't become super long-winded. But opening in is pretty good. 2 Crimson, a Santa Claus, and a Lance. Not terrible. We have combo. We can trade in the Santa Claus if we want, or we can always trade in the Crimson. I'm always a fan of tossing a Crimson from hand from skill, because that means I can toss, you know, Wild Wind or theoretically another card from deck with the skill, which means I thin out my deck of something I don't want to draw, or I put something like Wild Wind in graveyard, which can help get me to more resources and materials later on in the duel. So never sad to see Crimson in the opener. So we're going to go Roaring Soul, we're going to pitch the Crimson, dump the Wild Wind like I said, get the Sprinter, normal Sprinter, summon back Crimson, go ahead and Synchro for Red Rising, target Crimson, bring back Crimson, Crimson effect, do the 1/1, go ahead and Synchro for our level 7 Dark Dragon Synchro, it's Explode a Dragon Wing in this instance for us, and then go ahead and Synchro using the Synchron and the level 7 Dark Dragon Synchro to make Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. Then we're going to pop the Synchron effect on Resolution, adding the Mirror Resonator back to our hand, and then we're going to use skills since we have a Fiend on field and a Fiend in hand, swap them out, set the Red Rain, set the Forbidden Lance, and wish our opponent good luck. So they're going to go Orchestrated Return. Ooh, and that's a pretty good one. They dump Harp off of Orchestrated Return, draw 2 cards, and then they open Babel or drew into Babel. They're going to go ahead and use Babel. So we know we're playing against Orcust now. They're going to normal Scrap Recycle, and they're going to dump the Brass Bombard. Okay, so this is an interesting decision. Orcust, for those of you who don't know or haven't quite puzzled it out yet, is a little vulnerable around its normal summon. They can extend through an interruption on their normal summon sometimes, especially the normal summon effect. But it's not a guarantee, so you really have to read what your opponent has in graveyard, what you think they might have in hand, and what they've already used, like the Once Per Turn Orchestrated Return, to try and figure out when the best point to interrupt them and stop them playing is. So we're going to do that here. They're going to Brass Bombard the special one from hand, and they're going to do Orcust Nightmare. And it's at this point that I realize that I need to go ahead and use the Red Rain. If I let them put Nightmare in graveyard, and on top of Synchroing for what's likely Galatea because they already have Babble up, they're just going to get too much advantage. They're going to grab the Trap or an Orchestrated Return for follow-up. I'm not really going to have a good interruption or a choke point to stop them from doing stuff. So we're just going to go ahead and challenge them to have something to extend with the Harp Horror summon from deck and see what they can do with 2 cards left in hand. So they're going to Harp. They're going to do the Symbolic Skeleton. They don't have a way to put it in grave. So lucky for us, we have a Cosmic Cyclone off the top. We're going to use that on the Babel because Babel is going to be able to turn off whatever Orcust we put in grave over the course of the turn. And the set card I'm not worried about because we have Forbidden Lance already set. So we're going to go into that. Then we're going to use Scarlet to burn them and clear the field. And then we're going to use Wildwood to grab Crimson effect to go ahead and grab some Resonators from deck. I'm not worried about clogging my zones because I do have the Forbidden Lance set. We're going to go Tyrant just to force the Spell Trap, or move to battle phase and then negate it and then keep the Forbidden Lance live. And on Synchro Summon, we get to add Red Rain back to our hand, which means we can, guarantee that we're going to be able to disrupt our opponent on their turn. And our opponent's going to realize that they've got nothing, and they're just going to scoop. So, not so thoughtful or interesting on that one, but always good to be able to beat the objective best deck. I guess that's kind of what I wanted to show here. Yeah, we have Yugioh. Should be PK here, and we lose the coin flip, and we're on a 5-win streak. I don't know if I told everybody, but I'm sitting at Legend 5 right now, so all I need is a 5-win streak to get the King of Games. I'm probably going to do that in a live duel with commentary instead of a replay, just because I haven't done any live duels recently, because I was playing mostly on vacation. But opening hand it's okay, going second. We have Lance that'll protect against back rows, Cosmic Cyclone to remove back row, Comp Balls to set, and maybe skip our turn if we need to try and bust whatever our opponent's board is before we try to commit to it. And Red Rain, not great going second in the opener. I would ideally like to see something that could immediately interact with my opponent's board. That's a consequence of playing 2 sometimes. So let's see what our opponent does. Yep, Treason Phantom, they are indeed on PK. So Cloak, double Cloak in the opener, cool. Send Cloak. Cloak effect, go ahead and grab them Boots. Should have a normal summon here and then Boots. So normal Cloak, special Boots. Synchro for Dark Rebellion. Go ahead and use skill, detach, Boots effect, grab the rank up magic. Use the rank up magic to go ahead and make Requiem. And nothing. Okay, not terrible here. Gonna be kind of hard to deal with their follow up if I can't play. 1 Comp Pulse probably isn't gonna save me, but we can always try. Let's see what we get off the top. Oh, we get Mirror Resonator. Okay, so let's send Mirror Resonator here. Send Crimson. Set Sprinter. Think about what we can actually do, what we can actually accomplish with this hand. Our best bet is probably set Lance, set Comp Pulse, set Cosmic, pass, set all 3 in hopes that our opponent whiffs on any back row removal they might have. Comp Pulse is enough to keep them off of lethal damage, and Lance to help us do the same thing as well. So it's probably our best bet, but there is one thing we could do to see if we can get this to a playable hand. Because if I just normal summon Sprinter, they're going to negate it. They're going to negate me somewhere along the combo, and I'm not going to stand a chance. And then I'm not feeling too good about my ability to follow up. You have the Mirror Resonator in graveyard though. Mirror Resonator, while it's in your hand or your graveyard and your opponent controls a face-up monster, some special summon from the extra deck, and you do not, you can go ahead and activate the effect to special summon it. So why don't we try that? And they take the bait! They take the bait and they negate. Alright, we're free to play. Sprinter, let's pop off. Get Crimson. Red Rising, bring back Crimson. We passed the DD Crow check. Sweet, let's get some dudes on the field. We go red here because we already sent the mirrors, so we don't have 2 level 1s. That's okay, because we're going to go ahead and make Scarlet, and then make Bane, and then Bane, pop the Synchron to recycle the Scarlet, and add red back to hand. Scarlet, pop. Oh, they pull a kite right off the top? Alright, well, good thing we were disciplined, didn't get too greedy, and we managed to set 3 here. Feeling pretty good about this one. So I got a Cloak. Cloak, go ahead and grab Boots. And let's see what they can do here. Okay, so Gloves, and then Boots. And we're going to Red Rain, just banish the 2. Not the greatest that we get rid of Scarlet, but it's alright. We're going to go ahead and normal red here, and we got another red off the top. We're going to go ahead and special red here, gain a bunch of life points, help us stick around, so hopefully we can get the top deck. Or we can just finish the game right there. Not always playing the deck, everybody. Sometimes you're playing the player. That was one of the instances in which we were playing the player. I don't know if they were just having a bad day, a click yes moment, but we got them. We'll take those. Alright, and our last replay of the night is going to be against Akiza. So probably Rose Dragons. And we're going second. I don't know why I always say we're going against this character, and they're probably playing this deck. But in this case, it is Akiza against Rose Dragons. Okay, so they're going to do skill dump blue to normal rocks. Visual shoot, go ahead and synchro, make Yazi. You'll have to forgive me if I'm not the sharpest on Rose Dragons. I missed that little part of Duel Link's history. I was busy messing around in Master Duel at the time. And they're going to go Yazi, set 3 pass, which I remember hearing about. So this seems to be the standard Rose Dragon turn 1 end board. Untargetable dude, backed up by a bunch of stuff. And not the worst, because our hand is gassed up. Okay, we've got the means to play through some of this interruption. So we're going to lead with Crimson, use Wild Wind, special summon, save our normal summon. So hopefully a normal summoned Red Sprinter can get us through and play past whatever their interaction is. Assuming it's not something like Book of Moon that's going to flip down and shut Sprinter's effect off. So we're going to go ahead and make Red Rising, Crimson. Crimson only bring out red because I don't want to clog my zones for the aforementioned Book of Moon. If they were to Book of Moon like the Red Rising there and only leave me with 2 tuners, I could still normal the Red Sprinter and then make another Red Rising. So we didn't want to clog the zones. And I think the goal here all along was to make Tyrant, just because Tyrant demands a response right now. If you don't get Tyrant before I pop Tyrant's effect off, I'm going to just take everything. I'm going to blow up the entire field. So they're going to go ahead and do it. They're going to go IDP. Okay, IDP, get rid of it. Not great that Tyrant's gone for the rest of the duel. But we're going to normal the Red Sprinter, bring back Crimson, Red Rising, bring back Crimson. We already used Crimson's effect for the turn. We're going to make Scarlet. We're going to Scarlet, non-target it, and destroy the Yazi. They're going to use Phase Rose to protect their life points. And then don't know if that was the right move to crash. I don't know if it was the right move to crash in the blue Rose. So that would, yeah, I don't know if that was correct. Again, not super familiar with Rose Dragons, but let's see what they can do with it. So they're going to go White Rose into Rocks Rose and grab a Blue Rose, and they're going to synchro for, nope, not 7, but 11. And they're going to go Trish. And we're going to use Meister effect on the White Rose Dragon here. I don't know if this was correct in the moment, but I had a feeling if I didn't stop them from being able to get more material and more card advantage, I was going to lose the duel. So Meister seemed like a wise trade. So we're going to use the Meister. They're going to banish, and then they're going to poke us. And we're going to go ahead and top deck the Compulse. We're going to use Wild Wind, grab something in hand. And we don't have a way to combo. So we're just going to set the Compulse, and hopefully that can get us through. And it can, because they're just going to normal blue, think they have game. We're going to use the Compulse, get rid of the Trish, and they're going to poke with blue. And then we're going to go ahead and top deck another Compulse. So we're just going to set that, and hopefully that can keep us alive. They're going to go Rocks Rose, add, and they're going to go ahead and synchro into Zeta. And they think they got game again, but we got another Compulse. And then we're going to go ahead and set Lance, set Red Resonator, and they're going to go ahead and just poke with blue again. And it's at this point on my last top deck that I realized that I have yet to use Roaring Soul. This was made way harder than it had to be by my own inability to remember if I activated my skill or not. So we're going to go ahead and use Roaring Soul. We're going to add the Red Sprinter. We're going to normal the Red Sprinter, and we've got the Lance set, which means we're pretty much protected. They don't know that though, but they realize that the duel is over, and they're just going to go ahead and concede. So Probably not the best showing for me, but kind of cool that I was able to stave off the duel that long until I realized that I could use my skill and win the game. So pretty cool that I was able to do that. And I think that's going to be it for the replays tonight, everybody. Hopefully all of you enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know down in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. That's the easiest way to make sure you let me know. And it helps this channel out immensely. Content creation is something I really want to do, something I really want to pursue, but I can't do that without all of you. So if you appreciate me and appreciate all the stuff I do, like, comment, subscribe. Easiest thing you can do. And I will continue to make more content. And the more you like something, the more you watch something, the more it lets me know that that's the type of content I should be making. All right, everybody, I'm happy to be back. Hopefully you're happy to have me back live in action as well. And I'll see you on the next video. Be safe, have fun, everybody.